First of all, Abraham, thank you for being with us today. I've encountered the information that my emotions are a guidance system within the past year, and I have only begun to try to work with it. I feel like asking if you have any suggestions for working with it well in a culture, in a socialization system, which neither recognizes nor supports this approach.
Yes. Ignore all of them.
Thank
you. Because if you try to explain to them, they don't get it. And you'll just find futility in trying to give someone information that they're not asking about. So watch for their readiness for it. But your question is a good one because it sort of twists and wraps around itself in this sense. So this culture that doesn't really understand the value of emotions, and because it doesn't, gives me more grief than if it understood. In other words, it might be easier if, when I'm in school as a little one, my teacher were to say, "You are a wonderful being, and you will find your own way of doing things. And I, as your teacher, will adapt to you." It might be nice if your teacher had said to you, "You are a worthy being, and you will have your own unique way. And I probably won't understand it because it will be about who you were before you came forth and what your intentions were, and it will be about how your life touches you and the rockets of desires that you shoot off. So your life and your behavior will be about your points of vibrational relativity between who you are allowing yourself to be in this life and who you really are. And I, your teacher of you, this little one, will do everything in my power to remind you of your well-being, and I will guide you toward your connection at every turn possible, so that when you falter and think you might not make it, I will encourage you and tell you that I know you can. When you are afraid, I will remind you that there is not anything to be afraid of, and I, as your teacher, will do my best to restore your connection to who you really are. If you were surrounded by those kinds of teachers, you would not lose your way. If you were taught at an early age that you are supposed to feel good, and when you don't, it's guidance letting you know that something that you're focused upon has you disconnected to a certain degree from who you are, a teacher like that would say, listen to your heart and follow your own gut instincts and go with your natural flow. And don't worry so much about the rules, even the rules that I might put into place right here in this classroom, because there is this dominant guidance that comes forth from within you. Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing to hear? But does it matter that it took a while before you heard it? Does it really make any difference? Did life treat you so badly? We don't think so. And do you appreciate now knowing it more than you would? Yes, in the same sense that when you're hungry, food tastes better. And was any harm done? No. And can you at any point put your canoe in and turn in the direction of your flow? And aren't you exhilarated now that the teacher that you are can express that to those who surround you? Isn't it nice to know that life is supposed to be good and that no matter what, you are loved? So you don't want to feel blame or anger at those well-meaning people who just didn't know better. They were doing their best to prepare you for the harsh world that they lived in. And they had turned upstream and they were working very hard. And they knew to make it, when you flow against the current, life is hard. And so they were trying to prepare you for the same hard life that they were living. And your instincts were different from that. And so you didn't turn easily into the hardship. And so they took hold of you again and again and pointed you that way. Told you, it's tough. You got to be diligent. And in time, just from the sheer weight and number of them, you sort of gave in to that. But never joyously, and never never feeling like it was right, always sensing that there was something that was screwy in that. And now when you hear what it is that was screwy, you say, but of course, how could I have not known that? And we say, well, it's enough to know it now.
Thank you for your answer, and thank you for being the first entity that told me what my emotions were for.
You're welcome.